Alright, what's up everybody? We are back with more of Avadon 3, the Warborn. Let's go ahead and continue. And you know what? I don't care about the stealth stuff right now, so let's just go ahead and kill these freaking rats and all this other crap. I mean, I might come back. I don't know if I do, but I might come back here later anyway, and I'd rather not waste time trying to avoid a bunch of rats all the time. So let's just finish these off and then we'll do our main quest here. Okay, so we got rid of them. Never send to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. Is that a reference to Shakespeare? I feel like that is. I still wish I had more area effect stuff. Care about your dang alarm? Get out of here with that. I leveled up dexterity. I still like all the names for all these various creatures, like the bloodthirst bat. Let's do this, and we'll do this and this. Yeah, to think this is just an interlude, too. You round the corner under the watchful gaze of the archers peering at you through slits in the walls. They are very quiet as you pass. Then you see why. There is a wretch at the far end of the hall to the east. He was put on guard duty, but in typical wretch fashion, he leaned against the wall and took a nap. You hear the creature's soft snoring. You hear the other wretches. They are out of view, noisily gnawing on bones and belching. Okay, just make sure we check everything. Here I am just fighting solo as much as I can. Enduring breastplate. I don't really care to have bonuses to endurance, so I'll just put that in. Cell. Elixir of Hell. You know, I think we are at that point now where I think we would be fine just investing in elixirs rather than potions. But I'll still hang on to my potions for just a little bit longer, especially since we are in an interlude of the game. Yeah, I don't care about no freaking stealth. I just want to get through here more breezily when I can. All those wretches are dead. You tell him more of the tale. He nods, quite pleased. You work on some requisition forms together, and an eye brings you a newly made scarab and a pouch of gold. That was a good beginning. I have more work if you have the time. Anything else I can do for you? Yes, as I said, we have an unusual problem. There's a prisoner in the central cave. We can't question it. We can't release it. It doesn't want to go. I need someone to drive it out. It is an inferno named Pinkna. It is in the middle of the great central cave. I will have the gates open for you. What is the central cave normally used for? Anything we need a lot of room for. We've stored war beasts there, whole tribes of wretches. A few years ago, it was even a hospital for a wounded dragon. Right now, we put troublesome prisoners here, like infernals. How did an infernal end up here? Some Tomanite spies snuck into Hoklanda and summoned it. Our hands raided its tower and killed the mage. Then they put the inferno in silver chains and brought it here. We couldn't question it. Our spells don't work. We want to drive it out, but it won't go. How can I drive Pinkna out? You are the hand. Do whatever you want. Just keep it from destroying the masonry. We don't need more repairs to do. Okay, so we won't be doing Redbeard's thing right now. What scarab did we get though? Ooh, that's a good one. Ah, even though we're in Avadon, we can't equip it unless we're in the hand encampment. So it will have to wait, unfortunately. But that is a good one to equip on Raylin. Alright, this is blocked off. Okay. There is an infernal standing in the center of this enormous cavern, watched by a pair of nervous hands. The creature is not chained or held in any way. It is just standing here, smiling smugly. As you approach, it roars, "Another mortal pest to bother mighty Pinkna. Another amusement. The Great One is bored. Yes, I am still here. Don't want me? Then you should not have brought me." So, what are you doing here? You brought me here. Pest of Avadon found me in Kalimdariel. Used spells and trains to bring me here. You have lived to regret binding the Great One. Why were you captured in the first place? Some mage in Kalimdariel captured me. Was ordered by some fled lord. Griffin or something. Your hands came after I was bound. The traitor was killed. How did we catch you? You didn't. The traitor made you killed, bound me. Your lot brought me here for questioning. You learned nothing, but you still have me. Ha ha ha. What happened when we questioned you? Nothing. Your little spells cannot break my immortal mind. I will tell you nothing, ever. I will stay here, though. The Great One is amused by your struggles. You could just tell us what we want to know. I could, but I won't. I will do what makes you unhappy. I will torment you. You thought you could master the Great One. Pinkna sneers at you. More words to bore the Great One? Speak, weakling. You refuse to leave? I do. I have had no tribute, no worship. You have not begged for my mercy. I think I am owed. One day I will come to Lavana and her servant. I will eat their dreams. They will pay. They insulted a great one. I have been asked to drive you out of here. You are not the first. I will say what I told the others. I want 1,000 coins. I want respect. Then I will go. I think I'll just kill you. Then I will consume you. I will have your strength. Then Lavon and her pets will pay. I'm not giving you 1,000 coins. Forget that. I love how the guard landed the final blow there. Pink now has been destroyed. It collapses to the ground and begins to evaporate. Clouds of vile mist rise from its decomposing form. It's disgusting. Someone is going to have to hose the floor down. Ooh, pendant of power, 2 to strength. I'll take it. I mean, we could give the other one to Kalita, even though we don't really use her. How the heck do I get out of here again? Okay. Yeah, it was a southern. I hope that was your last one, because I'm ready to move on. I'm more, honestly. Pinkna will trouble you no more. You tell I more of what you did. Excellent. A shipment of Wild Rim rebels just showed up. We'll start moving them into the cave immediately. You fill out more forms, you get a pouch of coins, and oddly, a horseshoe. Mamora says, it looks like junk, but it has an enchantment. I think it's a suitable reward for the task. Anything else I can do for you? Mamora smiles. Not unless you are looking for work as a bricklayer. I think all the killing type work is done for now. Okay, that's good. Good charm in the meantime. We didn't mean to grab all that. I won't worry about lockpicking then. This huge cave served as low security prisoner storage. Unthreatening or broken prisoners were stored here until they could be disposed of. Something went wrong, though. The inmates rioted and the guards withdrew. The stew bowl in front of you is empty. The prisoners must be hungry. You can see the hulking, clumsy movements of ogres in the shadows to the northeast. They haven't noticed you yet. With any luck, they haven't eaten Ilaria yet. So wish I had more area effect I could do. Alright, we gotta take out the seer, because there's no way otherwise. So wish I had more wands. This is like so dull right now. Just beating up all these cougars. Oh, although, yeah, I probably could have avoided them, but at the same time, you know what? I'll just go ahead and kill them all. Alright, at least things are a little bit easier now that I've killed a few of them at this point. Okay, I'm glad we killed them then, because we got that. Okay, these are the... Oh my gosh, gosh, really. More pests to deal with, but whatever. Oh my gosh, really? All these pests? Oh my gosh. Whatever, it was my choice to fight all these enemies, so I'll stick with it. I don't care about their poison. Get out of here with that. You find the body of a dead prison worker. The spiders caught him and wrapped him in this web. Something metallic pokes out of the wrapping. You remove it. It's a key. You take it. Okay, so we got a random key here. We have no use for that, so let's just go. End of the Black Age. In the years before Cycle 6237, the members of the Pact realized the extent of their mistake. The Black Age, over 3 decades of civil war, had erased all gains of the First Age. The far lands ran wild. Hanvar's council still met regularly, but it had no power or influence. And then, as before, a lone hero rose to save them. A woman named Talera, one of the representatives of Darram and Hanvar's council, left the council and became a neutral diplomat. A neutral, bloodthirsty diplomat who worked to negotiate a peace and used her massive private fortune to hire a host of assassins. Those who opposed her work in the name of peace tended to die mysteriously. Talera's work was actually fairly easy in some ways. All members of the Pact wanted a face-saving way to end their conflict. They were eager to stop fighting, but how would peace, once attained, be maintained? Talera's stroke of genius was the creation of Avadon, a fortress and enforcer, independent and impartial, staffed with their own assassins who would stand apart and crush all who acted against the stability of the Pact. The Treaty of the Five Powers was signed in Cycle 6237, ended the war and compelled the 5 states of the Pact to provide money and resources to form Avadon. Now an independent force would watch them and rein them in for their own good. You know, let's just go up here because I want to see if Ilaria's up there. There is a prisoner being held in this room. He is a young man dressed in torn clothes of an archaic fashion. He is held motionless in the middle of a magic circle, bound and supported by a translucent field of energy. He stares miserably off into space, and yet he seems to sense that you are there. Inside the field, he moves and talks very slowly. He says, in his odd, painfully drawn-out way, I am here to teach. Was alone, forgotten. Help me. The moment you touch the field, you are thrown back. It takes several minutes for the numbness in your arms to disappear, only to be replaced by a painful ache. The prisoner says, "Don't do that. Hurts me too." Who put you here? Redbeard. It is my fate for what year is it? 6318. Everyone I ever loved is dead. More years passed, so slow, left alone. When did you come here? It was 6263. A long time. If he is telling the truth, a very long time indeed. The frozen prisoner stands upright, trapped in the field of energy. He moves very slowly, and his words come out as a long, ghastly moan. His clothes have a very peculiar style. You start to suspect that they went out of fashion years before you were born. What are you doing here? He looks up at you, desperate for conversation. Nobody has been back here for a while. I am here to be an example. I suffer alone, forgotten. Do not end up like me. Who are you? I remembered, was asked years ago. Remembered. I was Hart Lexrim. Who put you here? Redbeard. He gave me my judgment. Why were you chained here? Tried to kill the keeper. Redbeard. Failed. He gave me special punishment to scare others. He thinks. I guess it worked. Why did you try to kill Redbeard? Tyrant. Started out humble. Grew. Ambition. Power. Killings. Too harsh. Warned him. Was a heart. Saw. Disaster. Try to help. Failed. How did you try to assassinate him? Poison. Lots of it. Drank it. All down. Didn't touch him. He was strong. He was strong. Protected. Was stronger than I knew. So he put you here. Yes. Left alone. Forgotten and kill me. Alone, the defenses weaken. Spells not restored. You can kill me now, please. You couldn't be killed before now? Redbeard put shields. He wanted me to live year after year. Now alone. So alone. Defenses weaker. Defenses? His head lolls limply back and forth. His body slumps, held up by the shell of energy. I am not defended. Just strike. Something about the response seems off, but you aren't sure what. Maybe he's just been driven mad by his imprisonment, but you think he's lying. There are still defenses here. You really want me to kill you? Strike. Strike at me. Break the shield, the chain. I will be free and can find peace. That seems clear enough, though you can't be sure what other nasty spells Redbeard left. Fine, you can rest at last. You strike the shield around the prisoner. The prisoner was right. The spell is disrupted. The wards shudder, twisting the prisoner's body. He screams, and then you hear moaning coming from all around you. Turns out he is not the only prisoner here who received a special punishment. Other spirits are held here. They emerge, maddened by their imprisonment in the stone. And even more combat right now. We haven't even got to Ilaria yet. Why are they doing so much freaking damage? Come on, I want to get this over with. I want to get to Ilaria already. Enough of this shade crap. You know what? I need to do a better job of just using my other potions. I mean, what the heck, Zach? Wait, I just now realized that is a hedge mage bow, so we should actually have equipped that on Nathalie. That's not going to do us much good otherwise. I can't believe it took me that long to realize that. Will you stop backing away and die already? Sparks fly out of the magic circles in the prisoner's chamber. Then they grow dim. The defenses have been drained of power. The prisoner moans, "At last, time is short. Please, end my pain." The frozen prisoner stands upright, trapped in the field of energy. He moves very slowly, and his words come out as a long, ghastly moan. His clothes start to have a very peculiar style. You start to suspect that they went out of fashion years before you're born. The shield around him is almost gone. The prisoner is incoherent, lost in pain. He moans, "Now! End! End it! It is time. Die." You deliver one final strong blow. It shatters the shield and strikes the prisoner in his chest. The shield was all that kept him alive. Hitting him wasn't necessary. Once their spell was broken, his eyes closed. His face relaxed. His body slumped slowly to the ground. At last, his imprisonment is done. As you start to turn away, you notice something on the floor. There's a small carved totem at the shade's feet inside the barrier. You take it. Ooh, Spectre's totem. That sounds very useful. Okay, so we can't get in through this way, but I did earn a medal for that. Liberated at last. Is there a way we could have just been able to free him without consequence of him dying? This is the punishment hall where difficult prisoners are brought to be made pliable. The techniques used here are inelegant but quite efficient. There is the Count El Mage wandering around in the shadows. He is wearing a rough spun robe, the sort they give to prisoners. When he detects your presence, he wheels around. "You, a hand, you have found me. I had better recapture you." "No, I will never submit to Avadon. Not when I can die." He holds out his hands. They start to glow. "Come, I am Quinnell, a proper duel between equals in this pit of tyranny." Oh, brother. Summoning more shades, too. I don't care about your daze effect. Alright, you know what? Let's just go ahead and take advantage of this bow while we got it. Okay, so no easy way out. Just have to go that way. Okay, we already are pretty strong, so we'll just sell the Blessed Runestone. We'll report Protus. When the Age of Chaos began, the pack finally came to realize how old, confused, and ineffective Keeper Redbeard was. Steps needed to be taken to restore Avadon to its proper place. Normally, Keepers are only replaced when they die. In practice, when they are assassinated. In this perilous time, Hanvar's council decided that rapid action was required. For the good of the pack, they took the brave, unprecedented step of removing Redbeard. Redbeard fled and his location is currently unknown. He was replaced with Acting Keeper Protus, a loyal and effective lifelong servant of the pack. He will make Avadon effective in his own properly restrained way. Protus will remain Acting Keeper until Redbeard dies, at which point Protus is expected to be declared full Keeper. This is a private internal report for the Fortress of Avadon. Sharing its content with outsiders will be savagely punished. There is an exhausted Tinker Mage hiding behind a pillar in the back of this temple. She hasn't slept in a long time, and she's desperate. She leaps out from her hiding spot and points a wand at you. She must have stolen it. Back away, hand! She shouts. I won't swear the oath. I won't give in. Back away or burn. Are you Ilaria? She doesn't lower the wand. Her hand is trembling. Don't pretend. I know you came here for me. I'm not going back to the cell. Actually, Redbeard sent me to find you. She seems confused. You repeat yourself. Is this a trick? She looks you in the eye, and you repeat yourself again. Really? Redbeard came back for me at last? Really, at last. She lowers her wand. I'd given up hope. He'd been gone for so long. Protus threw me in a cell. I told him he would pay for it, but he didn't believe me. I thought I'd just rot. You get a closer look at her. Her clothes are torn and filthy. She hasn't bathed for weeks. She's been hiding back here for a while. What was your job? I was head librarian. Then Redbeard put me to work defending the fort, after Miranda betrayed us. Wasn't the best use of me, but we didn't need librarians. Then Redbeard was driven out, and it all went wrong. You are a criminal? No, I am being punished for loyalty. I am down here because I wanted to follow the law. How did you end up down here? After Redbeard was driven out, Protus demanded that everyone swear loyalty to him. Most did. A few hands and eyes fled. I stayed. I was principled. I refused to swear. Then I paid for it. Are you still loyal to Redbeard? I am. Not because I think he is competent. I have my doubts. However, he is, by law and tradition, the true keeper. He will be keeper until he is killed. It is Avadon's way, and Hanvar's council has no right to change it. I'm supposed to take you away. I see. I am ready to be taken. I can't do any more good here. So, take me. Where are we going? How will we flee Avadon? Actually, I'm not sure. Oh, well, Redbeard will provide. Keep following your orders. I will be close. You try to ask what she means, but she mutters a spell. Then she vanishes. You aren't sure where she is or even if she's still in the room. Seems like all you can do here. Time to figure out what else you need to do. Okay, do that and that. At least we found Ilaria. I hope that's what we need to do in the dungeons. Your hair stands on end for a moment. It's a familiar sensation. You check the letter you got from Redbeard. It has changed again. Another instruction has appeared. The Avadon Library has fresh intelligence on the movements of the Warborn. I need it. That is all. Again, an irritating lack of any extra information that would actually be helpful. You have finally escaped the dark, dank tunnels of the Avadon dungeons. Your reward is this huge, dusty storeroom. There are piles of newly arrived equipment heaped everywhere. Tons of it. Food, wood, weapons. After months of being neglected in Camp Nightshade, patching your clothes and scavenging arrows is kind of stunning. You take it all in for a moment, awestruck. Surprisingly, there are no humans in sight. Instead, the goods are hauled around by enchanted stone constructs. Avadon is so wealthy now that their scut work is done by magic instead of mere humans. Okay. This large box is full of debris. It looks like the storeroom workers have spent years throwing anything broken, old, or weird in here. Rusty tools, alchemical equipment of obscure purpose, useless trinkets. You root through the mess like generations of optimistic hands before you. You are not rewarded. For the first time, you see the great entry hall of Avadon. You've been told about it, and it matches your expectations. It is truly impressive, not because of marble and decorations, but because of the activity. Eyes and heavily armed hands walk in and out. Supplies are brought in by the ton. Reports are given. Plans are made. It's a show of power for anyone who visits. The eye of this hurricane is a woman standing in the middle of the hall. She tirelessly greets visitors, gives directions, and shouts orders. She is Hart Callan, trusted advisor to Redbeard and Protus, and unquestioned master of the day-to-day operation of the Black Fortress, and she notices you the moment you come into view. She waves you forward. A middle-aged woman crosses the courtyard back and forth, shouting orders to the soldiers and workers. As hands enter and leave, she grabs them and gives them extra jobs to do. She wears a well-worn bow over her shoulder, though you doubt she's used it in many years. The heart pattern on the shoulder of her armor shows her to have considerable authority. She inspects you as you approach. Ah, Redbeard's hand. Protus told me you'd be coming up from the dungeon. I'm Hart Callan, honored advisor to Redbeard. I need to meet all new hands. Who are you? I am Ray Lynn. I'm here by Redbeard's orders. You make your response as polite as possible. Though you've never been to Avadon, all hands have heard of Hart Callan. She takes care of all the little details that keep Avadon running. She smiles a little. So, Redbeard is still out there. I can tell you work for him. I recognize the worried look. I think you have heard of me. I look after Avadon. It is what I do. I do what I need to prevent disruptions. I need to make sure you won't be one of those disruptions. I don't want any trouble. That said, you are here to collect items for a fugitive. You are already trouble. But that fugitive is Redbeard, who I served for many years. I owe it to him to not interfere. Now, you can continue with your work. Before you go, however, there is something you should do for me. Report. You are a Heart of Avadon. I'm not worthy of the honor, but yes. We Hearts are the closest advisors to the Keeper, or the acting Keeper. Only the Hearts are free to completely speak our minds. Only we can assign missions and steer Avadon when the Keeper is gone. Did Protus make you a Heart? Redbeard himself placed that level of trust in me. Then he was driven out, and Protus saw I was adequate to continue the task. Things could have been very awkward, but Protus saw my worth. Why did you choose to serve Protus? There is no choosing. I accepted the role of Heart. It gives me duties. I carry them out, that is all. What do you think of Redbeard? Hart Callan shakes her head. I don't. I served him for many years. If he is ever Keeper again, I will serve him again. I don't have opinions about Redbeard's abilities or health. I will leave that to you. I have my job to do. Tell me more about Protus. I've known Protus for many years. He was a Heart, you know, before he was chosen as acting Keeper. He is quiet and competent. He lacks Redbeard's unpredictable passions. He had less power, now he has much more. I criticize him, as is my job. He takes it well, he is fine. Why weren't you chosen as acting Keeper? I don't know, but I thank the heavens every day that I wasn't selected. How was the power obtained? Hamvar's council gave it to him. I don't know what secret negotiations were involved. I don't know what favors he pulled in or what threats he issued. Happily, it's not my job to know. You criticize Protus? Of course, it is a job of a heart. I would advise you not try it, though. Both Protus and Redbeard demand my loyalty. I sympathize with your difficult position. You work directly with Redbeard. By some readings of the law, Redbeard should be keeper. Yet, Protus is acting keeper, and all the power of the pact is behind him. I chose Protus as I had to. You will have to make your own choice. What do you think I should do? Decide for yourself. I won't discuss this further. It might interfere with my duty. What else do you need? What would you like me to report to you? For many years, I have collected the initial reports from hands out in the field. I look for the traces of important events so I can alert the keeper. Don't be afraid, this is all in the service of fact. I want to know what you have been doing, and I want to know about the hands you work with. You're right, Avadon does need to know what we're doing. Redbeard chose you well. You know how important information is. You know that we need to know how things are changing. I like to talk more about the hands who travel with me. Calla nods. She grabs a clipboard from a nearby table and starts to flip through it. I think I know what hands wandered off to join Redbeard. I met them all. I like to know their status for my records. I don't have anything to report about the hands. Alright. I will hopefully still be here if anything changes. I don't have anything else to report. Nothing else to discuss. Then you are free to go about your business. As long as you follow Avadon's rules, we will not interfere. You walk away. When you look back, you see Heartcallan staring off into space, a sad smile on her face. Okay, surely we can give those reports later, right? Because I really do need to save the game right here, as much as I want to continue playing this. Because I really want to see more of what happens. But I really do have to save the game right here, so I'll see you all with the next part.